Good evening, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Nero. It has been a month. It has been a wild month. It has been a crazy month. It has been a spooky month. And we made it through. And as you can see, the stars have returned. Even the stars are back. I want to tell you something. I want to tell you something I have not told you for a month. Do you know what I'm about to tell you? Hydrate. Do it. Let's just take a minute now. Let's go get your water, go fill up your water cup, go fill up your glass, and let's have a victory hydration break. Yeah, we did it. And I wanted to get back to more of the regular content, or at least more of the mundane content. But I do want to talk about Spooktober, so I thought, how can I talk about Spooktober and also provide content? And then it came to me, we'll end as we began with a nice, rousing game of PowerWash Simulator. And by rousing, I mean relaxing. This is take two. I started trying to do this a little bit earlier and had an abrupt family emergency. So here we are. I get to talk about stuff all over again. And that's okay because I had intended to do this as a more relaxed, gentle, dulcet tone sort of stream. I had a pretty horrible cough earlier too, probably because I haven't hydrated in a month. That probably doesn't help. Checking our game audio. It can be a little louder. Because while I want you to mostly be able to hear me, I do want the sound of the power washer to come through just a little bit. So, Spooktober. That happened. That was great, in fact. Um, Thank you. Thank you if you have followed since the beginning, if you have joined and subsequently consumed all of my videos. Thank you. Thank you so, so very much. Uh, we're actually getting towards Thanksgiving, so it's appropriate. I had a little idea with Spooktober, and I knew I wanted to do something a little unhinged, a little off the rails, and something that I was probably going to regret. And so I decided, hey, how about I do a video a day? You know, there's plenty of YouTubers do a video a day. Video a day, that's not that hard, right? Well, as it turns out, it is in fact very difficult. Beyond that, I knew I wanted to do a focus on phobias and not just like spooky games. Everybody's going to be doing spooky games. I wanted to do a mixture of spooky games and mundane games that people with particular phobias will respond to in very specific ways. And we did it. We did it. We we went through a full list. We didn't do everything I'd wanted, everything I'd planned. Things kind of went wacky, and I know that I am not the only one who had scheduling problems during this month. Uh, but we did do it, and that was the important thing to me, was being able to go back at the end and say, "Hey, I did it." Was it everything I wanted it to be? No. Was it as polished as I wanted or as well planned? Absolutely not. You think I planned this? No, Absolutely not. I just kind of made it up as I went along, and it worked out okay. But I had a lot of fun doing it. It was also incredibly stressful. So very stressful. There were nights that I didn't really get much sleep because I was worried and focused and stressing about, well, I got to get this video done. Also, I started doing this um, while moving and also a month into a brand new job. So, if you're gonna do something big and stressful and strenuous and over the top, definitely do it when you have a lot of other things on your plate. um, and while it was stressful, it was also cathartic. It was relieving. I got to hold on. There's a way to do this. There's a quick menu. I don't remember what it was. There it is. Nozzles 2. Um, I got to do what I set out to do when I started this channel, or at least when I started actively doing this as a content creation channel, and that was I have a massive library of games. I have games for just about every situation, and I want to share those with people. I want to enjoy those, but not just by myself. I don't really enjoy playing most games by myself, which is part of the challenge of having all these games, because then you want to play with people. And, well, how do you play it with people if they're not around, or if they don't have a game, or if they're not necessarily good or comfortable with playing games, if they lack that skill or uh, obsession that, you know, some of us do have. We are obsessed with games. We are consumed by them. We have to play them. Um, and then there's people who want to be involved but don't necessarily play games. Well, how do you get them involved? Here's how: you make YouTube videos. And there are a few people who have been involved that, um, you know, video games aren't their bag. They're not really big into it, and that's okay. They're mostly just here for the conversation and the banter, the quips, and the sense of community. And I wanted that was a big part of what I wanted to do. Spooktober was a bit of an outlier because there's a lot of content that there's a lot of content in that makes people uncomfortable, and that's okay. But it's the content I wanted to make for for October, and I wanted to get into some of that spooky content, and I really wanted to kind of dive into the deep end with um, with content creation and such, and also editing. That's You will notice that this video is not edited. There's a reason I started over and didn't just try to splice them together. It's not that I couldn't, it's that it takes so much extra time, especially with my machine, um, because of the raw power it needs to take. Hey, we started doing this on stream and we said we'd come back to it. We're coming back to it. Let's do this dinosaur, the stego slide. Anyway, and so I did a lot of spooky, creepy intros. I did a lot of kind of bonkers off the wall stuff, and I'm aware of that, and some of those things are going to drive people away. For me, it was as much a matter of being educational. I This was a kind of video diary of me learning how to do things in the programs I have. turns out a lot of stuff you can just get for free. There's a lot of open source stuff um, that you can get. You can support them by donation, of course, and probably should. But the software itself is free. Um, and all of the software I use, other than the games themselves, is free. All of it. It's great. Um, I've used OBS Studio. That is my primary recording method. It's not perfect, but it lets me do videos like this with, the corner camera, and which should probably be not the corner because you can't see what I'm using. It doesn't matter. You don't care what nozzle and sprayer I'm using. That doesn't matter. Um, I use OBS Studio to do the primary recording, and then I use OpenShot Editor, I think. That was what I was using to actually edit my videos. I used the Logitech webcam software that came included with the webcam to do some of the webcam effects. I used the editor to do others. I also used Audacity to do a lot of the sound effects. The sound effects I actually got pretty happy with in the middle, because I was trying to use OpenShot Editor's sound editing options, which were not as vast as I would like, but that's okay. and then I started using Audacity and splicing and things like that. In one of my videos, if you haven't watched them all, that's okay. But in one of them, it's the Atticophobia, Achievemophobia video. The intro to that, I actually, I spent like 10 minutes just flipping a quarter in front of this damn camera, trying to capture a good coin flip video that I could play in slow-mo. Because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do a slow-mo heads or tails, win or lose, achieve or fail. That was what I wanted for my intro for that video. Well, I managed finally, after a long time, to get one take that was okay, as long as I edited out my thumb. And I did some creative editing to do that, but the issue was I didn't have the telltale coin ringing sound, right? Because all the movies and all this stuff, you have that ring 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 sound, just that soft ringing of the coin in the air. Well, it turns out that doesn't really happen, like, unless you use ridiculously large coins. The old, like five, the Kennedy silver dollars, that big around as a chocolate chip cookie. Now I want cookies. I have cookies. I could have a cookie. Not right now. But yeah, you don't really get that ringing sound so much, especially not in slow-mo. And so then the other half of the video I recorded was me with this can around my headset, just tapping it and flicking it and trying to get just the right ringing sound. Oh goodness, it was hilarious. I was fuming, just cursing at the store. And then I had to isolate it. Credit to Audacity. I was able to isolate one good take of that add some echoes and stretch it out for time, and then invert it and repeat it, reverse it, click, unclick it, technologic. Do a lot of that stuff to it, and I was able to get a pretty good sound, I think. I was happy with how it turned out. And yeah, it was great. Um, Finally got that all stitched together though, and I was really happy with how that turned out. So, um, and I know I did a lot of spooky intros on a lot of stuff, but but if you can ignore the spook and watch those, um, like you'll see it's just me being goofy and ridiculous and playing with settings and yeah. So that all happened. What didn't? What else happened? Well, let's talk about what else happened before we talk about what didn't happen. Um, I I had my first video that I locked behind mature audiences only, and I probably didn't need to. It probably would have been fine, but I did not want it to be prominent on the list. I did not want it to be something that anybody like accidentally stumbled onto. Like you're gonna have to intentionally go to the effort of getting to that if you want to watch it. It's a game about being the conscience of a serial killer to try to keep the serial killer from serial killing. And I tried. I tried really hard to make light of the dark situation, and at the end of the day, I couldn't. I couldn't, and I did not want to give that content any more time or effort or attention or glory than I already had. I didn't like it. It was one of the first videos I made that I straight up did not like. And it's not that the game is bad. Um, it is a it is a unique exploration, but as I explained in that video, um, there's this weird trend in modern media to kind of like obsess over serial killers and murderers and all that, and the obsession is weird and uncomfortable to me. I find them interesting, unique. Like I do admit a certain level of morbid curiosity to the way that mind works, but it is a distinct recognition of morbid curiosity. It's not healthy, it's not beneficial, and I know I'm not an expert studying it, so I don't need to obsess over the details. That's not that's not something I want or need to do. So I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna use a pressure washer and clean a stego slide. That's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, so that did happen. I also and there were a couple games I played that they were fun for one time, but not something I necessarily am going to care to go back to. Um, and that's okay too. I can recognize that. Going for quantity over quality at this point. Just gotta get this stego clean. Come on. Just a little bit more. There we go. Pristine. Beautiful. Look at that stego slide. It's gorgeous. What else happened? Oh, we we got like we quadrupled our followers on Twitch, which, hey, by the way, if you were paying attention, you will notice that there was not a Twitch stream this week. For that, I deeply apologize. I had every intention of doing so, and then family emergencies happened. So, as much as I prioritize my content creation, and I do, just to ask most people who are aware of me, I prioritize this. I do also recognize, sometimes real life takes priority. And if your family says, hey, we need you, if you have a good, healthy relationship with your family, you say, okay, sure, I'll be there. So I did. But that meant that I wasn't able to stream last night. I wasn't able to stream Friday night. I wasn't able to stream last night either. I had intended to. And then more family emergency. Funny how those happen. Which brings us up to actually another thing I wanted to talk about, Spooktober. Some things that didn't happen. You'll notice, as much as I hyped it up, we did not play Dead by Daylight. Not once. That is because the people I wanted to be involved with Dead by Daylight had their own family emergencies. They had their own life events. And while I could have played by myself, it doesn't have quite the same effect playing by myself or with complete strangers. And there were several games that we didn't get to, several ideas I had that we didn't get to during Spooktober. And that's okay. Some of my friends have already started talking about, well, we can talk and plan and get ready and do more next year. And that was kind of a nice feeling of hearing people say, hey, I may not have been fully on board with every part of it, but I appreciate, I respect, and I admire what you've done, and I hope you continue to do it. That was a big deal for me. Sugar Phantom specifically, you know you know her as Dead Sweets because that's what I call her. I regularly just call her Sweets because I like the show Bones. Or at least I like some of the characters from Bones. Anyway, and that ties back to the whole pop culture murderers and stuff. Anyway, I like that because it doesn't glorify the perpetrators. It focuses on the science, or at least parts of the science, some of the pseudoscience, and the methods of identifying and reasoning involved in capturing them and apprehending them, bringing them to justice. And who doesn't love justice? Criminals, that's who. Anyway. But Sweets has been a very dear friend to me this entire time. Her support has been just a balm to my soul. I almost feel bad for tormenting her in most of the games we play. But only kinda. Only kinda. And my other friends have been a huge support as well, just in different ways. Howdy, Dirt Finder. Put everything on hold. My golf buggy soiled like you wouldn't believe. Why did you soil your golf buggy? That sounds disgusting. Doc gave your details to a colleague who needs a hand with her new place in the suburbs. It's the old Death place. Oh, Death. So I hope you don't get too spooked too easily. Oh, that would have been perfect for Spooktober. That's fine. A lot of Spooktober and the subsequent recovery from Spooktober is me letting go of some of the things that I didn't do that I wanted, some things I did do that I wasn't happy with, recognizing all that. And some of that you can see in some of my later videos. When I start talking more about in a very meta concept with these things. And I'll admit I was fighting a fair bit of burnout. Because I wanted to get back into some of my regular content. Not because I wasn't happy with what I was making, but I miss doing some of these more relaxed things. I miss being able to get kind of immersed in a game. And yeah, which brings us to our new dilemma of what do we want to do next, folks? I have a couple of ideas. Some games I have played before, some I haven't. Some I've played some of, but haven't really gotten very far in. Some that I've played so long ago I don't remember. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. That is a beautiful stego slide. All right, we're gonna clean the rest of this. I say a lot. I'm trying to get better about that, but it doesn't always work. Hey, you know what we should do? We can do it twice. Hydration break. It's amazing. I'd say another reason I kind of put off doing this video. I was giving myself time to recover because, as you probably noticed, if you looked at my webcam at all, I have a rather glaring fever blister right on my bottom lip. Not wild about it, pretty painful actually. Those tend to pop up due to stress, or at least in my case, it's usually when I push through on kind of like an adrenaline rush. Just kind of force myself to keep going, and then finally let myself relax for any period of time. Yeah, October was stressful. I had a lot of fun with it though. That's what it all boils down to. Is October was stressful. I had fun. And I hope you did too. I know not everything is going to be for everyone. That's okay. But I did have fun making stuff for you and exploring different things. We did Fable, we did Spyro, we've done basic wholesome adventures with some fair amounts of emotional investment. We haven't done a lot of do it once and move on. Play a game once and then leave. Never come back to it, never touch it again. That's not saying I'll never touch any of those games again. I will. Some of them. Some of them I won't. And that's okay. I wanted to do something different because we've gone through 2 stories leading up to Spooktober. Recently started playing Phasmophobia again, and that was actually, I think, a big part of why my audience on Twitch grew so much. Was because I was playing Phasmophobia, which is a pretty popular game, and I'm enjoying some of the new aspects of it. Some of the other ones are a little iffy. I think a lot of it is I just need to play more of it to get further. I wasn't happy to see all of our progress had been reset with some of these new updates, but I get it. And yeah, I might play that more often if I can find people willing and interested to join me. I've connected with another friend on our in our gaming group that is also interested in starting to do content creation, and is more interested in doing spooky stuff, which I do like the occasional spook. I feel like I'm giving a tutorial on stuff. But if that works out, we may be able to start doing some more multiplayer games. Which I do like multiplayer games because while I can tell jokes and have absurdist humor by myself, it's not quite the same as having an active audience. And the best active audience is somebody playing a game with you. I've also been considering doing more videos on just in general, like maybe doing twice a week. That would be something, right? Theoretically feasible, especially if I do batch recordings and everything. What I really wanted to do is more multiplayer videos, and so this might give me just the option I need to do so. I'm getting really into this power washing game though. It's very soothing. It satisfies that same kind of mental need as Tetris to organize and bright colors and have everything be tidy. I don't have that often in real life. That is usually a problem for me in real life. I'm bad at cleaning. Oh, I keep looking at my ladder. I can get my ladder from way over here. I love having telekinesis. They call it a roundabout. I'm sorry, this is a merry-go-round? Roundabout seat. Yeah, you shouldn't sit on them. Oh. Oh. That's disgusting. Ugh. It's fine. We've got a pressure washer. We can take care of that. There we go. There we go. Clean up this bench. 40-degree nozzle. Just a nice quick clean off. I am still interested in possibly getting an editor. I can edit stuff myself. It's time consuming. Part of why part of why it was so stressful was all of my time, all of my time in life was taken up. If I wasn't working, I was recording. If I wasn't recording, I was editing. If I wasn't editing, I was compiling my edited video. And if I wasn't compiling, I was uploading. If I wasn't uploading, I was. Oh my goodness, what is on this bench? No, I don't want to know what's on this bench. If I wasn't uploading, I was making a thumbnail. That was all. And if I wasn't doing any of that, I was planning my next video. All of my time was taken up. And yet, I don't regret it. Not one bit. Now, am I eager to do it again right away? No. No, we're gonna take some time. Be a little bit more cash. That's short for casual, I think. At least that's what the kids tell me. But I don't regret Spooktober. As much of a stress and strain as it put on me, I don't regret it. I had a blast. 31 out of 31 would do again. Maybe in a year. Maybe not right away. But yeah, I am glad. I am so glad for everyone who went on this journey with me, who joined along the way. I'm so glad for my absolutely lovely audience, my beloved audience, in so much as I have an audience. I have a few of you that have just been utterly, utterly delightful and so encouraging, and you've kept me going. You've kept me going in this crazy idea I had along the way. And we'll see how long we can keep doing it. I have admittedly I have been idly considering, well, what's next? What do I want to do? What how sustainable is this? That has been a question I've asked myself more than once. Because I would love to do this for a job. I can't. And I've explained why multiple times. I can't. And I'm still enjoying doing it, but I also know that to develop and to satisfy what I want out of it, I do need to have growth. I do need to go somewhere with it. If it was just about playing games with friends, I would just play games with friends, and I would just focus on that. And I would cater my schedule to all that and everything. But this is more than this. This is more than just wanting to play games with my friends. That is the heart of it. That is one part of the core of it. Is wanting to play games with friends. That's the reason I start all of my intro videos the same way. Good evening, my friends, and welcome. I'm Nero. And occasionally I'll do a different time period depending on when I record or when I intend to upload. But I want this to be a healthy community. I want the kids that don't feel like they fit in because they're beyond weird. They're loud, they're obnoxious, they feel like they're annoying. I want them to feel like they can fit in here. And hey, it's okay. You're working on it. You are finding the ways that you can socially fit in, that you can be okay. You are finding ways to deal with your own insecurities and the insecurities of others. Nobody wants to feel lonely. Nobody wants to feel like they are not worth the time or the effort. That's a terrible feeling. Feeling like you're not worth the time or the effort. I know that feeling. I don't want you to have that feeling. I don't want anybody to have that feeling. And I want to have a community that says, hey, it's okay. Here's how you can help, and here's how we can help you. Because nobody's going to do it perfectly. Nobody's gonna be perfect at any of this. I'm certainly not. I am still regularly a terrible friend. And I know that. And I'm working on it. I'm trying to be better. And everybody is trying to be better. Everybody's trying to be better than they are right now. And that is the important thing. It's not a competition against each other. It's a competition with yourself. We are trying to be better than we were yesterday. And we are setting ourselves up to be even better tomorrow. And we're doing that by playing games and talking while we're playing games and figuring out what we think and how we feel by being presented with different points of view in an environment that doesn't make us feel unsafe. Thanks, game. Perfect emphasis. And to do that, I'm doing that through games. Games are a great way to do that. Games are games are a great way. See, there's a perfect example. I had a bit of a speech issue. I said Grames. Very embarrassing, right? I feel a little embarrassed. I laughed it off. I moved on. Because tomorrow, the day after, nobody's going to remember that I said that. Nobody's going to remember what I did or said to be embarrassed about. And most of the time, that's going to be true. But there's more to this than just, oh, I'm weird, I'm odd, I'm all that. Like everybody says that. Everybody says, "Oh, I'm weird. Oh, I'm odd." And if you are feeling that way, you are welcome. That's fine. This is not meaning to exclude anyone. Quite the opposite. I want everybody to feel included. And you know what's really weird? You know what's really odd is being inclusive. Even in spite of whatever negative feelings you have about someone. Recognizing that we are all people and We all have our flaws and we are all working on it. I like to follow the concept of the non-zero day. I'm not perfect at it by any means, but if you haven't read about the non-zero day, I highly suggest you look it up. I will see if I can find the original post, and I'll try to include it in the description below. But the non-zero day is a great way of recognizing small steps towards growth. Because growth and change and improvement, self-improvement, that doesn't all happen in a day. It doesn't all happen in one big thing. It's a very slow process. And it's something you have to nurture and work on persistently. But if you develop little ways, little things that you can change every step of the way and build on those, then you get to the point where you are making big changes. And one of the biggest changes you can make is having non-zero days. Have a day where you don't have days where you make no progress on something. It doesn't have to be a lot of progress. It doesn't have to be huge, oh, look at everything I did progress. It can be as simple as every day, you know what? I'm going to wash one dish. What if you use more dishes? That is not the important thing. That is not what matters. What matters is that you are trying to do dishes more often, and every day you are doing one dish. And it becomes a habit, it becomes routine. And then if you feel like you are developing, progressing well in that, if you feel comfortable, then you progress to 2 a day. And you add to it, you build on it, you do little things, and you appreciate yourself for the little things you do, which is very important. It's important to recognize your successes. And that's a big part of what this video is to me. This video is recognizing my success. Is it everything I want? Have I made it? Am I a successful million subscriber YouTuber? No. I think I have 14. 14. I have more than when I started. I've had growth in the last 30 days. And I'm still producing content. Is it all perfect? No, that's fine. Doesn't have to be. Still counts. And you know what? I did Spooktober. I had an idea, I followed through with it, and that is a big deal to me. Being able to say that I followed through on it. Yeah. Feels good, man. Feels good. We're gonna finish this roof. This tower roof. That's gonna be how we cap off this video. So, if you could do me a huge favor, if you're watching this video, I want you to think about I want you to think about what you can do to help yourself. Just help yourself today. That's all. If you have a game in mind that you want to see me play, yeah, let me know. Throw it in the comments. Let me know. If you have somebody in your life that you think would really enjoy the content I create and the community that I'm trying to build, you know, throw them a link. Maybe go for one of my better videos, or one of my funnier ones. Anatidiphobia. That's a good time. The rousing game of Goose Goose Duck we played. That would be a great one to send. If you don't, if you can't think of anybody, that's okay. No pressure. If you're still enjoying my content, if you still feel like you are here and belonging and safe and able to branch out a little bit more and be more of who you want to be, and doing so in a way that doesn't harm others, perfect. That's what I want. That is the main thing I want. You know, if I grow my channel, great. That'll happen as a byproduct of what I'm doing here. But first and foremost, I want to take care of people. I want to solve problems and help people. That's my jam. And yeah, we're doing that. We are doing that. Maybe not perfectly. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. Boy, these are really tricky spots to get to. Interesting. Huh. This doesn't do anything from this distance. If only I had a way of getting up there. Oh. It's weird that my favorite video that I made out of Spooktober, arguably one of my favorite videos, was thanatophobia, the fear of death. I am really happy with how that turned out. It wasn't any gameplay, it was just me talking with a little bit of an underlying time-sensitive need. If you've watched it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. I love that video. Is this the extraordinary Dr. PowerWash? We got your details from Cal. Got a dirty old house and needed some TLC. The Learning Channel? Still wonder why they used these fancy pants shock absorbing rubber compound for the playground flooring and not good old fashioned creosote. Oh goodness. Yeah, good old fashioned creosote. Definitely not a carcinogen. Boy, this is finicky. Yeah, I could be doing a lot of this faster, but I want to spend more time with you. But I have an idea for... Love that phrase, don't you? I have an idea for our next game. And it is a cute game. It is also challenging from what I remember of it. From what little I've played of it. It is called Little King's Story. that is my first reaction of what I want to do for my next game. Because it's a game I very much wanted to I've wanted to finish, but I never have really had the chance or opportunity. Um, I've played some of it, and then stuff happened, and then I had to stop playing for a while. Tower roof. This tower roof just will not get clean. Oh, goodness, that's filthy. 0-degree nozzle. Do I? Oh, you know what? Can I buy something? Equipment. The turbo nozzle. I own the turbo nozzle. I own the turbo nozzle for the Urban XU2. I don't own it for the Prime Vista. I'm so confused. Why can I not buy? Oh, back to shop. Do I? What am I using? Prime Vista short extension. Prime Vista 1500. Yeah, I do have the zero nozzle. Okay. Anybody else as confused as I am? So, Little King's story is a nice one, and very cute. Lots of open source music. I like that, or at least public domain music. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right. I bet I need to go. Here. Yeah, this is where it is. So Little King's story is my first instinct. However, I did also just get a game that I haven't played before that I really want to, called Wizard with a Gun. I'm thinking that might also be an option. So, do you want to see me be a benevolent but ruthless king conquering a world full of just absolutely wacky creatures and characters? Or do you want to see me be a wizard with a gun? Because those are your options. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. And hey, take care of yourselves. We're all in this together. Believe it or not, we are all in this together. So thank you for joining, my friends. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being my audience. Thank you for spending your time with me, even just to listen and hang out and chat. Take care of yourselves. Remember to hydrate, and we'll see you next week. For now, my friends, farewell.